And welcome to another LEGO bootleg review. Today we're looking at 3 robot characters that these bootlegs have produced. On the right hand side we have Voltron, of course. This is a new version from Pogo, and I will be comparing this to the old one. In the middle there we have something from Lele, and this Maginzer there is also from Lele. The middle one is Tetsujin 28. In Chinese we just call him Metal Man 28, so that's the thing. So let's look at these figures individually. Like I said, this one is Voltron, it's a new version, and here is the old one. You see there's quite a big difference, to be honest. And I think the new one is nice in some aspects, and yet the old one has some nice bits as well. So let's start with the head. First of all, the helmet. The old one uses 2 pieces. You got the head piece there and the neck piece, kind of like the more modern Darth Vader figure, for example. You can remove the helmet, it still has a jaw piece there. Whereas this one here, it's a single helmet piece, but the white piece is separately molded, so it's not painted and stuff, and you just plug it onto the black piece and stick it on the head. I like that the print overall on the helmet is nicer on the new one. However, the old one just looks sharper, especially around the horns. It's smaller, sure, but has a little bit more detail going on, so I do like that. The head is printed much nicer on the new one. Of course, the old one is mostly just white, and the print doesn't even go all the way around, so it's a little bit distracting. When you move down to the torso, the wing piece on the new one is much nicer. It actually has more molded and the paint is much more detailed. It's also a more substantial piece, whereas the old one is slightly warped and looks like it's gonna snap. But it still follows the same principle, it just plugs into this red backpacky thingy there. You can see that the print is a little bit more detailed on the back of this, as well as having patterns on the legs. When we go back to the torso on the side there, you can see the arm print is again much more detailed on the new one. The sword is much more substantial as well. Both of them have a good shape. So the old one isn't bad, but the new one is bigger, so if you like bigger swords, that's great. Here's a quick look on the other side of the hand. Again, the print is much sharper than the old one. Of course, the old one has the more robotic sort of lion head hands that plug into the torso, which I think is a plus for the old one, because the new one just uses minifigure hands. So yeah, that's definitely a big bummer for people who, you know, like it to be a little bit more robotic, I suppose. Because the new one also has this new star-shaped accessory. Don't know what that is, don't watch the show, but I guess that's something, you know, quite relative to him, and it's painted quite well. Moving down to the legs, the old one's actually printed quite nicely, but the new one is a bit sharper and I don't know, kind of has more of a Lego feel to it, but I do think in terms of like accuracy, the old one, front of the legs is much nicer, which is annoying because, like I said, the back of the legs is nicer on the old one, on the new one. Side print, again, I do have to give it to the old one just because it looks more like it does as it's supposed to, whereas this one looks like a robot leg, whereas this one looks like the actual, like, separated robot look. Same goes to the other side of the figure as well. So all in all, in terms of Voltron, I think if you want to have the best version, you get the hands of the old one and the legs of the old one and stick it onto, and the helmet of the old one, and stick the rest with the new one. So old helmet, hands and legs, and the new one you keep the backpack, the new head itself, not the helmet, the new weapons, and the new torso, and you have, I guess, best of both worlds of the, you know, whichever version of Voltron that you might like. Next up, we take a look at Metal Man 28 here. Now, if you look at anime pictures, I should insert one right here, or manga pictures, you can tell that it's impossible to get his shape in a Lego minifigure form, because he just has like a really big like barrel body, so it doesn't fit here in minifigure form. But the head's still quite like it, which again doesn't quite work because in the manga anime, the head is smaller than the torso, where here it's the other way around. So for people who are big fans of this manga in particular, yeah, that's not gonna work. And this thing is an actual head, it's not a helmet, it's a full piece, so that's something. Let me just get this backpacky piece off. There's not really any print there, but just a little bit of detail, just enough, I suppose. As you can see on the, it's got like back leg prints, got side arm prints, side leg prints, so it's got printing all around. The jetpacks and stuff on the back is quite cool. It's painted quite nice as well. So for something from Lele especially, this is a pretty good, nice produced figure. If you can get around the fact that it's pretty much impossible to get a Lego minifigure to be accurate to this particular character, but he is quite nice. Finally, we have our Maginzer character here. This one's got a bad chest tummy print piece. So let's get another one here which is printed a little bit better, but this one's sword's not printed as nice. So yes, it doesn't really have much detail in terms of print on the figure itself per se, but its accessories make up for it. So it's really got a black chest armor piece that goes on top of him, and then it attaches the plane or jetpack thing on the back, which is made out of separate pieces, which is good because, you know, it means they won't mess up the print or coloring. So you got the red piece there and the gold piece, and the red piece goes, this red piece there goes on top of that and plugs it all together. Two front armor pieces attached to some nipple holes in the armor piece, and this gold thing there's a separate piece that goes between the leg and the torso. So it looks quite nice, and the helmet itself, this red piece is detachable individually. You unplug that and then you take the helmet off from the head, which is printed okay here, whereas this one, it's really slanted. So this one's a pretty crappy one, and this one's a good one, so you can just sort of compare the quality there. It's from, both are from Lele, but this one's got a bad head and bad tummy piece there, but the sword is nicer than this one. This is slightly rougher. So if you're a robot or mech fan, these are some nice figures that you can pick up for dirt cheap. So if you're a fan of these, I definitely recommend them because, well, there's no alternative just yet. So if you found this video useful, enjoyed it, please consider clicking the like button and subscribe button if you haven't done so already. You can also support this channel by turning ad block off or heading over to Patreon and doing it that way. So what do you think about these robot figures, and what other robot figures do you want to see in the future by these bootleg brands? Let me know in the comments below. Take care, have a nice day, I'll see you guys soon. Bye bye now.